Ethan Blaze Alarms here, and this is System Test 18. Welcome to the long-awaited System Test 18. Before we start this system test, there are a few things I should explain involving the delay in recording this episode, along with the delays of future episodes. If you want to skip this information, skip to here. Now, first of all, why is a system test so late? The main reason is I now have an 8-month-old brother named which explains why the last system test was 8 months ago. Anyways, I figured it would be better not to set off any alarms with in the house. And now, future delays. As mentioned moments ago, we do still have an 8-month-old in the house. This definitely limits when I can set off these alarms, especially mechanical horns. Additionally, I will be attending college soon and will only be home on weekends, further limiting the chances for system tests. So for the foreseeable future, do not expect regular uploads. There could be a few months between uploads. This concludes this explanation. Now for the system test. This system test includes some major changes. The number of pull stations has nearly tripled, and the number of notification appliances has nearly doubled. Allow me to open the control panel. Wow, it looks like all 10 zones are wired now. For the first major change, you might have noticed this switch. This switch is wired into zone 10, which is programmed as Supervisory. You also might have noticed that there are now 3 wires going into the ceiling instead of 2. I wonder why. Let's take a look at the alarms. For this first alarm, I have the system sensor SPSWL. For this next alarm, I have the system sensor SPSR, which is on my system sensor SEP-SPSW. Since I don't have any white spectral advanced speaker strobes, I put a red one here instead. And to the right, we have the system sensor PC2495. The horn on this is not wired. For the pull stations, I have the Notifier BNG-1, the Notifier NBG-12L, and the GE MPSR1 S45WGE. That is quite the model number. Time for the exciting part. Let's take a look at the expansions. First, let's head out here where the annunciator is. The 4606-9101 is now properly installed on the wall instead of just hanging from these wires. System is normal. 11:53:24 a.m. Friday, August 16th, 2024. So remember that third wire? It pops out right here and goes down behind the annunciator to my FireLite BG-12. Yes, the Zone 7 spot is finally back. So, what else is new? Well, I actually made a pretty major change to the 4001 side of the board. That change? I actually removed the Simplex 4001 and installed several boxes in its place. The entire board is now dedicated to the Simplex 4006. So I added 4 new pull station back boxes and 2 new notification appliance back boxes. Additionally, this one in the middle is a double gang box instead of a 4x4, which finally gives me a place to install single gang notification appliances, similar to the box that was above the old Zone 7 spot. On this box, I have the Simplex 2099-9756. Over here, I have the Notifier NBG-12SL. This one is the Edwards 270 SPO. And finally, I also have the Edwards 278B1120. Up here on this box, I have the system sensor SC241575. And over here on this box, I have the... Okay, so you probably already know I love mixing and matching different fire alarms. This is technically a system sensor CHSR with a shell swapped with my P2W. From now on, I will present each alarm in the system as they appear with on-screen notes indicating what I combined to create them. In this case, I will present this as a system sensor CHSW on a system sensor SEP-SW. And the difference between these two is that this one is designed to hold a speaker strobe, whereas this one is designed to hold a horn strobe or a chime strobe. If you noticed that all 5 notification appliance boxes have system sensor strobes, you shall be declared keenest of sight. I'm going to be using the DUS-MC to sync the strobes. And if you have no idea what the DUS-MC is, I have a video on this device linked in the description. Unfortunately, the 2 amber strobes will not be synchronized, and they are not connected to the DUS-MC. And additionally, for some reason, the L series strobe was working when I tested this setup with 3 alarms before these 2 boxes were installed. However, it doesn't seem like it does anymore. I'd imagine the DUS-MC can't handle the current of all 5 strobes, but I checked and the current was only around 350 milliamps. And I was told this thing should be able to handle up to 3 amps. However, from my experience, I'm not sure how accurate that is. Then again, I am not sure how this thing was built or how this limit was tested, and I also don't know for sure that the current is even the problem. The only thing I have ruled out is the NAC doing weird things, since this also happens on batteries. At some point, I'll probably do more testing with this thing to determine the cause of this issue, which can hopefully help fix this in future revisions if it hasn't already been fixed. So I'm sure you're wondering, what zone is what now? These 2 up here are the same, Zone 1 and Zone 2. This is also the same, Zone 3. These 2 are Zone 4. This is Zone 5. This is Zone 6. The one out there is Zone 7. This is Zone 8. And then these 2 are Zone 9. And then this is Zone 10. Alright, and we are going to be testing everything on the board today, including the Nest Protect and the heat detector and the smoke detector. And for the first device, this is going to be on temporal, and all of the speakers are going to be playing a voice message. It is going to be a custom voice message, which I think you guys are going to like. So to set things off, we are going to start with the Notifier NBG-12L. So let's push in and pull down.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit. Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit. Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit.
So we do have audible silence, however, the SPSWL Advanced Chime Strobe doesn't want to. Let's reset this. And let's reset this. Alright, I am out here by the annunciator, and I am going to activate the system with the FireLite BG-12. By the way, the 3 acknowledge buttons do work without the key being on, but these 2 require the key to be on. As you can see, I can't silence or reset because the key is off.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the...
And the reason that this doesn't like to silence is because I'm trying to use 2-wire audible silence, and I'm again thinking that there's some kind of current thing with the DUSMC where it's just not working right. Either that, or this one might actually have something to do with the knack being weird, since I do know that the knack being weird caused this kind of issue before. But still, no flashing from the L series for whatever reason. Alright, let's re-alarm with the GE pull station. So this one, we just pull down.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit.
Alright, let's silence this and reset it. Let's actually reset this pull station before we do that. That would be a good idea. Reset complete. Press any key. And there we go. System normal. Alright, so now we're going to be flipping this switch, which, I mean, I think this switch looks pretty cool on the wall next to the board. I think I did a pretty good job here. Anyways, let's flip the switch.
Lockdown. 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 All occupants are to follow lockdown procedures immediately. Lockdown. 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 All occupants are to follow lockdown procedures immediately. Lockdown. 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 All occupants are to follow lockdown procedures immediately. Lockdown. 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 All occupants are to follow lockdown procedures immediately. Lockdown. 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 All occupants are to follow lockdown procedures immediately. Lockdown.
Alright. Let's also get this air conditioner turned off. Alright. It is now time for the battle of the smoke detectors. So if you don't know how this works, we are going to be spraying both the System Sensor i3 and the Nest Protect with my smoke detector tester. And we're going to see which one activates first, how long each one takes to activate, and yeah, so let's start. There goes that one.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the
To be fair, I
elevators.
may have
Proceed
missed.
calmly to the nearest exit. Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit. Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit.
So I have no idea why this hasn't gone off yet. Let's try to reset this. I know it's not going to reset and stay reset. I'm going to take that down the moment it does reset, so that way it doesn't go off again. And alright, so concerningly, this has still not gone off yet.
Ready, in the basement. Press to test. This is only a test. The alarm will sound. It's going to be loud. The test starts in 5 seconds. Press to cancel. Testing smoke. Testing carbon monoxide.
Alright, I'm going to let that do its little self-check
Just a moment.
and see if it spots a sensor error or something, because I have no idea why that thing has not gone off yet.
Finishing up. The test is finished. Everything looks good.
Well, everything doesn't look good from my end, Nest. So you're telling me, let me make sure, that there's no way that that missed. You're telling me that everything looks good? I don't think so. Alright, well, I think this is the first time we have had a failure in a system test, but it seems like we have a failure. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that, because this is actually the only smoke alarm in the room. So it's like the actual alarm that if the panel is shut down, it's the only thing that would notify me of a fire in this room. And it seems like it ain't doing that good of a job. So I don't know what next. That's a problem for another day, though. So, alright, I have set this to the 4 chimes per second option, and we are going to rapid fire the rest of the pulsations. I'm not going to put it in walk test because a lot of this stuff doesn't really work with walk tests, such as the DOSMC. But oh well. Anyways, let's start off with this.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building.
All right.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are...
Well, that's definitely another thing to take a look into.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building.
Is another thing to take a look into, I suppose. Oh, that's annoying. That's another failure. I'm sure that one could probably be easily fixed, but still, come on. Alright, let's try this one.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building.
Now you see, a lot of the stuff on the board was tested prior to recording this, but with this pulsation, I key activated it when I was testing it. So that's probably what went wrong there. Alright.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit.
All right. And finally,
attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use...
all right, I'm going to reset this system now. Once that shuts up, we're going to do the heat detector and the key switch. All right, time for a fire drill.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit. Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building
All right. Now let's just wait for this to reset. And there we go. Reset complete. All right. This is the heat detector, and this is a hairdryer.
Attention! Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. All occupants are to evacuate the building immediately. Do not use the elevators. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit.
All right, and reset. All right. This should hopefully reset. It should have cooled down enough in that amount of time. Heat detectors do cool pretty quick. But anyways, thank you, everyone. I'm going to wait for that to shut up. Reset complete. Perfect. Anyways, thank you, everyone who watched today's video. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Ethan Blaze Alarms as well. Most of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you would consider subscribing, that would be amazing. And thank you very much as well. I would also like to mention that I have a Discord, and the link to the Discord is in the description. Do join the Discord if you're interested. Anyways, thank you all so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.